The statuesque heroes of Marvel Rivals are iconic in their own right, but wait until you get a look at their voice actors. Interdimensional travel and super strength are nothing compared to some of these jawlines. Many TV viewers will recognize Milana Vayntrub as Lily from the AT&T commercials, but she's also been connected to Marvel's Squirrel Girl, Doreen Green, for quite some time. Vayntrub was once cast in the live-action role of Squirrel Girl for the MCU TV series New Warriors, but the show was cancelled before the pilot was ever officially aired. While that left Squirrel Girl on the sidelines a bit longer, she successfully returned to the role multiple times for the audio series Marvel's Squirrel Girl, the unbeatable radio show, and the animated series Marvel Rising. Vayntrub has naturally developed an attachment to Squirrel Girl over the years, and she gushed about it to Behind the Voice.
She's just like the most fun person to embody.
Marvel Rivals allows Vayntrub to continue her ownership of the character, even if it isn't the live-action take for which she was originally cast.
Question? Ask. Are there squirrels in your place?
Outside of Marvel Rivals, gamers might recognize Vayntrub's voice from her role as Lunda in God of War Ragnarok and her film performance in the video game adaptation Werewolves Within. Troy Baker is a name that many gamers know. The voice actor has lent his talents to massive video game characters, including Joel in The Last of Us, Sam Drake in Uncharted 4, and Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. In Marvel Rivals, he's taking another turn as the trickster god Loki.
No one breaks a bargain with me twice.
That means I get to do it once.
Baker has played Loki in several different projects since 2010, and Marvel Rivals is just another successful addition to that list. Many fans see Baker as the definitive animated version of the character, much the same way that the MCU's Tom Hiddleston owns a character in live action. In addition to Loki, he spent a good amount of time voicing other icons of the superhero genre. Just to name a few, he's played Batman, the Joker, and Hawkeye. Scott Porter might be one of the few voice actors on this list who's better known for his live-action work than his voiceover. Even so, he returned to his longtime role as Star-Lord for Rivals. Porter first took on the role in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, a Telltale series. Since then, he's developed quite an affectionate relationship with the hero. When his Rivals casting was announced, he posted on Instagram, "Could not be more stoked to be back for more Peter Quill."
Saving the multiverse. Whew. That's new territory for us, huh, bud?
Porter has also voiced some other Marvel characters, including the Winter Soldier, Iceman, and Moon Knight. And if his name still sounds oddly familiar, you might also know him as Jason Street from the NBC drama Friday Night Lights and George Tucker in the CW's Heart of Dixie. Marvel Rivals players get a double dose of podcaster and voice actor Travis Willingham as both Thor and Doctor Doom. Outside of his prolific voice acting career, many tabletop gaming fans know Willingham for his work as a cast member of the popular Dungeons & Dragons podcast, Critical Role, and its animated adaptation, The Legend of Vox Machina. Though this is Willingham's first turn as Doom, he hits his mark perfectly.
No one rivals Doom!
Thor, on the other hand, he's had plenty of practice voicing in both animation and video games. Funny enough, he even dipped into the MCU's live-action Thor franchise, doing motion capture and voiceover work for some of the 2011 film's Frost Giants. Despite his close association to the character, it took a while for Willingham to completely connect with the God of Thunder. Speaking with Nerdist, Willingham explained that his understanding of the character has changed considerably since his days as a kid reading comics.
Thor, as I've been able to play him more, is far more vulnerable and porous and interesting than I initially thought.
Now, Thor's a character Willingham is happy to return to again and again.
Trickster, feel my thunder!
Willingham wasn't the only member of the Critical Role team to land a gig in Marvel Rivals. His co-star and real-life partner Laura Bailey voices Black Widow in the game. And like Willingham did for Thor, Bailey has voiced Black Widow in a number of Marvel projects over the years. She may also have one of the most recognizable voices in the industry, thanks to her performances in The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Spider-Man, and several other games and animated series.
Is she a Black Widow by any chance? You know they're the best.
Penny Parker is a mech-driving spider hero from another reality, and Sally Amaki voices the character in both the English and Japanese dubs for the game. Over the course of her voice acting career, she's had roles in Bachi the Rock and Kaguya-sama, Love is War. She also played Kiriko in Overwatch 2, so hero shooter fans have naturally started comparing her to characters. Penny has gotten a lot of positive reviews, some even prefer her over Kiriko. The Marvel Rivals team seem to be fans of Amaki's performance as well. The game's official X celebrated her casting by posting, "Sally's voice is as vibrant and lively as her mech."
It's time!
Outside of voice acting, Amaki is also well known as a member of the group 22/7, who also received their own anime series. Wolverine and Venom fans got a major treat when voice actor legend Steve Blum got cast in both roles for Marvel Rivals. Blum is iconic in the anime and video game voice acting scenes for legendary roles like Spike in Cowboy Bebop, Brimstone in Valorant, and Killer Croc in the Batman Arkham series. Considering what a prominent figure in nerd culture he is, it may not surprise you to learn that he's voiced both Wolverine and Venom in the past. Blum began voicing Wolverine over 2 decades ago in X-Men Legends and has since reprised her role in several video games and animated projects. At this point, many fans and fellow voice actors consider him the definitive Wolverine voice actor.
Past, present, future, don't matter. We gotta save them all.
Though he hasn't had quite the same level of experience with Venom, Blum has voiced him and Anti-Venom in the past. Most recently, he played Eddie Brock in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Satisfying, but we crave more.
For Venom, Blum seems to be invoking a similarly sinister energy to his performance as Baraka in Mortal Kombat, and fans are loving it. Marvel brought in another video game and anime heavy hitter to voice Illyana Rasputin, aka Magik.
Our foes would be wise not to underestimate us.
Abby Trott has worked on countless shows, including the English dubs for massive hits like Hunter x Hunter and Dan Da Dan. Trott's singing voice is also the stuff of gaming legend. She's who you hear crooning the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate theme song. Rivals isn't Trott's first gig portraying a Marvel mutant. In 2024, she voiced fellow sword wielder Spiral in X-Men 97. Still, Trott seems to have a particularly large soft spot for her Rivals character. She showed just how excited she was for the role on Instagram, writing, "Such a cool character and such an honor to be a part of this phenomenal cast. Behold the power of Darkchild." Mara Junot is another Marvel video game vet, and she's lending her voice to Storm in Marvel Rivals this time around. Junot has had particular success in the video game adaptation world, appearing in both Arcane and Pokemon Horizons. She's also appeared in games like Mortal Kombat 11, League of Legends, and World of Warcraft. As for Storm, Junot previously played her in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, and Marvel's Midnight Suns. She even got to take on the spotlight in the aptly named Bloodstorm DLC. She told fans on social media that playing Storm was a lifelong dream of hers, and it's clear that she's giving the role her all. He is hoping we get to see plenty more of Junot's take on the character in the coming years.
Be careful. There are some forces that even I cannot alter.
When you hear Black Panther, it's hard not to picture the late, great Chadwick Boseman. But when you hear his voice outside of the films, it's more often than not James C. Mathis III. Well, Mathis has performed voice duties in high-profile games like the Metal Gear Solid series and anime like Beastars. His work in the Marvel Universe is unparalleled. Over the years, Mathis may have voiced more Marvel fan favorites than anyone else. In addition to T'Challa, he's lent his talents to War Machine, Luke Cage, Ronan the Accuser, and others in various media. Mathis has regularly played Black Panther in TV shows and games since 2010's The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and you could argue that he's a definitive voice. Some fans were even disappointed when fellow voice actor Christopher Judge was cast as Black Panther in 2020's Marvel's Avengers instead. Luckily for those diehard Mathis supporters, he's reprised the role several times since, including for Marvel Rivals.
One cannot keep an empire when there is chaos at home.
Why does he keep coming back? He told Marvel.com, "The thing that stands out most to me about T'Challa is how honorable he is. I think he is more often than not going to err on the side of what's right." Luna Snow is a relative newcomer to the Marvel Universe. The super-powered K-pop star first showed up in the 2015 game Marvel Future Fight and made her comic book debut in 2019. While she hasn't been around long, the character gained a cult following almost immediately. Her Rivals voice actor Judy Alice Lee has provided her voice to a long list of popular games and series. Most notably, she has voiced characters in Call of Duty games, Octopath Traveler 2, and Genshin Impact. She's had no trouble stepping into the Marvel Universe either. Lee appears to be extremely grateful for the chance to put her stamp on Luna and her world. As she wrote on Instagram, "Thank you for the chance to fulfill the long-standing dream of mine to join the Marvel Universe. I can't imagine a better way for me to be able to extend my spirit and my voice to it."
Wow, for a girl with ice powers, I suddenly feel pretty uncool.
Casting Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man was probably a no-brainer for the Marvel Rivals team. Lowenthal has already voiced some seriously major characters like Sasuke from Naruto, the teenage Ben Tennyson from Ben 10 Alien Force, and Simon from Gurren Lagann. So nerds from all walks of life probably recognize his voice. In recent years, Lowenthal has put some serious hours into voicing Peter Parker in Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man games. He's just the latest in a long line of celebrated Spidey voice actors, but his participation in the Spider-Man games and Marvel Rivals has led many fans to think of his voice when they hear Peter's name.
Squirrel Girl can talk to squirrels. Ant-Man can control ants. How come I can't control spiders?
If you're a serious gamer or Marvel nerd, you probably heard Josh Keaton's voice well before he voiced Iron Man in Marvel Rivals. He's lent his talents to a lot of popular games, including World of Warcraft and Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. He's also played quite a few other roles in the Marvel Universe. Dating back to 2008's Spectacular Spider-Man, he's played Peter Parker in a number of TV and video game adaptations. Since then, he's performed as a number of other superheroes, including Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, The Flash, and yes, billionaire Avenger Tony Stark. Though he got his start as a child actor in the film and television industry, Keaton found his passion was bringing his favorite comic books to life through voiceover. Now it's almost weird to play a comic book adaptation where he's not involved in some way.
Tony Stark! I'm totally fangirling.
Oh, same here. We can swap autographs after the fight.
Alpha Takahashi is relatively new to the superhero genre, but she's fallen right into place as a psychic ninja, Psylocke. Takahashi might be best known for her work in immersive RPGs like Starfield and Cyberpunk 2077. And though many different voice actresses have had the chance to voice Psylocke in the past, Takahashi's take is solid and refreshing, and she seems to be having fun with it.
My reason is to strike down Doom, and then return home.
When it came out that she'd be taking on the role, she wrote on X, "Step aside, demons. Beyond thrilled to announce that I will be joining the X-Men as Psylocke in Marvel Rivals. Excited and honored to join the journey of this iconic warrior." And apart from her voice, Takahashi also enjoys dyeing her hair in fun colors, so she's a perfect match for the purple-haired warrior. For the first time in any medium, Rivals debuted Galacta's voice, and Cassandra Lee Morris brought it to life. Unlike many of her co-stars, Morris didn't have any other Marvel roles on her resume, so it feels fitting that she's the first person to voice the character.
From what I can tell, it began out of curiosity.
She does have dozens of video game and anime credits to her name. She played central roles in Persona 5 and its many spin-offs, the Blue Exorcist franchise, and the Sword Art Online universe. And while we don't have much to compare it with, she really stepped up the plate for her role in Rivals. This isn't surprising, given her enthusiastic reaction to landing the gig. When her Rivals casting was announced, she wrote on Instagram, "Beyond thrilled to announce that I am the voice of Galacta in Marvel Rivals. To originate a voice in the Marvel universe is a dream come true for me."